Hello, YouTube world. I wanted to just briefly talk about this news story in case you missed it. A Chinese doctor has now come out and publicly stated that this virus was created in a lab, manufactured in a lab, man-made, and purposely weaponized, used against the world as a bioweapon by the CCP, the Chinese Communist government. And this was on a Tucker Carlson show last night. And I want to just play a few clips from this. So they start out talking about, as we already know, a lot of Chinese doctors have disappeared and are likely now dead. And one of them they mentioned was this Dr. Fenn that has disappeared and, is probably dead right now. And so let me go ahead and go now to this interview, play a few short clips from it. So this Dr. Li Meng Yan is the doctor that is saying that China, the CCP, created and manufactured this virus in a lab, and that it is purposely being used as a bioweapon against the world. So let's just play a couple quick clips from this interview.
In the genome, but the scientific world also keeps silence, work together with Chinese Communist Party. They don't want people to know this truth. Also, that's why I get suspended, I get suppression, I am the target that Chinese Communist Party won't be disappeared.
You're a brave person.
So she has been repressed.
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt, and
so she has been repressed and reprimanded by the CCP, and apparently they want to off her. They want for her to disappear, is what she said, like these other doctors. So let me fast forward and let's play a little more of this interview.
And also government. Also, I work with the top coronavirologists in the world. So together with my experience, I can tell you, this is created in the lab. This is from that template owned by China military. And also it is spread to the world to make such damage.
To make such damage, do you believe the Chinese government released this intentionally, on purpose? Did they do this?
Yes, of course, it's intentionally. And even no need more evidence, you already can see what they try to cover up from the early beginning, as I reviewed in different medias before, and also what else they have done, like making the fabricated virus to throw out the natural origin theory, censorship, every evidence point to the lab origins, and also clearly try to make people like me want to talk about the truth get disappeared.
It's hard to be shocked.
And as she mentions there, the people like her that talk about the truth end up disappearing.
In a moment like this, but you have succeeded in shocking me. Unfortunately, this is not the forum for the details of your research. I don't have the grounding necessary to ask you the right questions. This is when you wish for a functioning media, because what you just said completely changes everything we think we know about the pandemic that's wrecking our country. So I really hope, sincerely, that you will be doing many interviews in American media and explaining this in much greater detail.
Thank
and
you.
I hope you'll come back here. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you. Everyone needs to know the truth.
Yeah. Shocking. Thank you.
So this is about a 7 or 8 minute interview, and if you want to watch the whole thing, you can get it on FOXNEWS.com online. So she states that this virus was created and manufactured in a military lab in China and was purposely used as a bioweapon against the world. And now I want to just play, he has Dr. Mark Siegel on to follow up, and I want to just play this short interview, his response.
Dr. Mark Siegel joins us to assess what we just heard. So, Doctor, you just heard an eminent Chinese virologist say this was manufactured intentionally in the lab, its genome proves that, and that it was released intentionally by the Chinese government, unleashed on the world. Your reaction to that?
Well, Tucker, I remain skeptical, but I think she has great credentials. And I also want to tell you that from...
So, isn't that interesting? He says he remains skeptical. He respects her credentials, but he remains skeptical. No surprise there. Kind of some damage control.
From the very beginning, we've wondered, why is this virus make people so sick? Why all the inflammation? Why all the organs of the body involved? This virus looks mild until it gets into the body, and then it does things like no virus has ever done before. The blood clotting. Scientists, physicians all over the world are shaking their heads. And then I want to tell you another thing that's really important. If you recall, this virus was discovered by another Dr. Li, Dr. Li Wenliang, may he rest in peace, 33 years old, who had...
Notice what he says there, 33.
Dr. Li Wenliang, may he rest in peace, 33 years old.
So he says that he's skeptical of what this Chinese doctor said of the virus being created in a lab. Then he mentions 33. And it's unbelievable how often you hear 33 mentioned on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. If I have the time, I need to do another video on that, showing just how unbelievably frequently you hear 33.
Who had the police, Chinese police, visit him in the middle of the night and demand he retract this. It would be called COVID 2020 or COVID 2021 if it were up to the Chinese. So why would we believe anything coming out of China in terms of its origin? Suddenly, we want to believe it came from a wet market or from a bat cave? Why would we believe anything we were told? And by the way, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Redfield have great relationships with Chinese scientists, and they assured us at the beginning that it wasn't that transmissible, that only 85% of the time 85% of the time was supposed to be mild. Then it traveled all the way to Europe. And the president tried to block travel, right? But it traveled and then to the United States, and then the rest is the pandemic. So here's the point. We can't believe anything coming out of China, Tucker. And I'm very willing to listen very carefully to what this scientist has to say, because it's a very suspicious situation, Tucker.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is one of the very first people on the planet to study this virus back last December. So, I mean, this is one story I hope is not memory hold. And I hope that others get on this with tenacity and get some answers, because the world deserves them, I think. Dr. Mark Siegel, thank you.
This behaves differently than...
Okay, so quite interesting. And this Dr. Mark Siegel, I've noticed with him, it's always truth and lies, a mix. And I've seen a fair amount of deception with him. And in fact, if I get the time, I need to do another video featuring some other segments with him and some of his deceptions. But, this is quite interesting, this Chinese doctor coming out and saying that this virus was created in a lab as a purposeful bioweapon by the CCP. I don't know. I'm not sure, what exactly to think of this, why this was on mainstream media. All the time, I prayed that the truth would come out with this C virus situation. And I do pray for this doctor, this woman. If she's really trying to bring out the truth, I pray for her. And I hope you would as well, because she's got to be obviously in great danger if she's really trying to bring the truth out. So not exactly sure, why this would be aired on mainstream media. Like I mentioned before, Fox News is a network. It's a real mix of truth and lies. They put some truth out there, but they also put a lot of lies, as I've shown in numerous videos. So, but very interesting to hear this mentioned on mainstream media. by this doctor that this virus, she is saying that she really has proof that it was purposely created and manufactured in a military lab in China with the express purpose of acting as a bioweapon against the world. So I'm not going to, go too much more into depth on that. Just want to put out a real quick video with this news story in case you missed it. So God bless, and I'll talk to you real soon.